After more than 50 hours plundering the irradiated wasteland of Fallout 76, the greatest mystery still lingering is who this mutated take on Fallout is intended for. Like many of Vault-Tech's underground bunkers, Bethesda's multiplayer riff on its post-nuclear RPG series is an experiment gone awry. There are bright spots entangled in this mass of frustratingly buggy and sometimes conflicting systems, but what fun I was able to salvage from the expansive but underpopulated West Virginia map was consistently overshadowed by the monotony of its gathering and crafting treadmill. On the surface, Fallout 76 is another dose of Bethesda's tried-and-true open-world RPG formula, except that aside from some gorgeous lighting, it somehow looks noticeably flatter than Fallout 4 did 3 years ago. When you look closer, the ambitious idea to replace all human NPCs with other players results in a lack of meaningful interaction. Other than the 20-something other players spread thinly over a massive map, just about the only voices you'll hear are recordings of long-dead quest givers, robots, and AI constructs who simply deliver information at you.
See to fruition.
There's no opportunity for the morally tricky decision-making that defines most other Fallout games. Even the so-called main story quests boil down to obediently following a breadcrumb trail of journals and notes. With the exception of some goofy and creative tasks, it all feels like chasing ghosts. And though later missions mask the shallowness with some cool events and set pieces, they're fleeting moments. Wandering the diverse wasteland of Appalachia does reveal one of Bethesda's great strengths: environmental storytelling. Discovering a goofy teddy bear playing pots and pans drums, an evocatively posed skeleton, or a half-sunken church all instill the sense that enticing secrets are hiding just over the next hill. On paper, a multiplayer game in the dog-eat-dog-meat world of Fallout sounds like a thrill. But in Fallout 76, you're almost prohibited from engaging in anything resembling player versus player aggression. Because you can't do any significant damage until both people have attacked one another, there's no sense of danger. It's the most kid gloves version of competitive multiplayer I have ever seen. And even if you do kill someone, or even just pick the lock on their camp, there's virtually nothing to be gained but a price on your head. Instead, Fallout 76 is more of a cooperative PvE game, and that's where it's at its best in spite of some frustrating UI and experienced distribution design. The mechanical benefit of grouping brings the ability to freely fast travel to one another, use teammates' custom-built camps, share a subset of cards in the flexible new perk system, and of course the added firepower. But what I appreciated the most is the companionship in this lonely world. Mechanically, Fallout 76's combat falls somewhere between floaty and just fine. I leaned into rifles at long range and shotguns or melee swipes up close, but always in first person, because hitting anything up close in third person is very hit or miss. With only a watered-down real-time version of Fallout's signature VATS auto-targeting system available, I found it nearly useless except in specific situations, but every little bit helps against the inventive and varied enemies. The recognizable insects, ghouls, robots, super mutants, and not-so-super mutant animals are all here, alongside some strange, creepy, and downright bizarre creatures that reside in the fringes of West Virginia's distinct and atmospheric biomes. Unfortunately, poor AI and pathing means most of these monsters can be killed in the cheesiest ways possible. The brightest spot here is your portable camp, which you can build up and drop almost anywhere in the world. However, there's little need to fortify it other than to lure enemies to their deaths. And like just about everything else in Fallout 76, this system suffers from a number of bugs that make moving camp a huge hassle. When you're not running quests, you're scrounging, scrapping items for materials, and crafting. There is a wealth of weapons, armors, and items to collect, assemble, and mod, and hunting down the plans is one of the best feeling measures of progression. In fact, toward the late game, the emphasis swings from exploration and discovery to resource and inventory management. That's when you're required to build, maintain, and carry your entire arsenal of power armor, weapons, and ample ammo, alongside the food, water, and chemical stimulants that keep you alive. All of this weight easily bogs you down, and your personal stash box has an absurdly tiny 400-pound limit. By the time I reached late game levels, I was spending 5 minutes of every hour I played just managing and sacrificing inventory to avoid becoming over-encumbered. That got old quickly. When my team launched a nuke after a series of needlessly convoluted steps, the seconds before and after the impact were the highest highs Fallout 76 had offered so far. Yet, when the smoke cleared, it revealed the temporarily irradiated area was more of the same, just with higher numbers. Was it all worth the trouble? Probably not, and that's when I knew I was done with Fallout 76. Finally, the fact there's a cash shop with obscenely expensive cosmetic items adds some insult to the overall injury. In an effort to do everything, Fallout 76 fails to do any of it well enough to form an identity. Its multiplayer mindset robs its quests of the moral decision-making that makes the series great, and all that's left is a buggy mess of systemic designs that never seems to work together and regularly contradicts itself. It all culminates in an aggravating endgame that's more busy work than satisfying heroics. Bethesda missed the mark with Fallout 76, in part because it seems like it could never decide what it was aiming for. For more reviews, be sure to check out our review of Battlefield 5 or our re-review of Warframe. And for everything else, you're already in the right place right here on IGN.